Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to episode 3 of Yesterday Reimagined, a vodcast presented by the Retro Resurgence. We thank you for tuning in and watching this little fantasy AI venture where we reimagine fictional retro history using today's modern AI tools. I am one of your hosts, Chad, and across from me, my partner in artificial intelligence, Ken. Ken, how are you tonight?
Hey Chad, I'm doing pretty good tonight. I'm glad we finally found some time to record this episode and I've been looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm ready to get this one going.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since we did anything for Yesterday Reimagined. Like we told everybody in the pilot, this is not going to be on a set schedule. This is sort of going to kind of be when time permits. Both of us have families and jobs, and of course, our main focus is always going to be over there at Retro Resurgence, where we
Yeah.
are currently on a summer break, but summer's winding down, so we'll be gearing out some of those episodes here soon. But yeah, we're back with episode 3 of Yesterday Reimagined. It was all the way back in May, if you remember, that we were on with our retro pals Wyatt and Karen, and we were reimagining some 1980s breakfast cereals. Ken, I thought that was
Yeah.
a pretty good show. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a really good show. And, for us retros and nostalgics, yeah, 80 serials were a big part of our lives. And I thought we came up with some cool concepts of what serials could have been back then. So, yeah, that was a fun episode that we did.
Yeah, and we loved having that was our first time where we had not one but two guests on the show, and yeah, I thought it went really well. But we're back with episode 3, and Ken and I are back going solo once again. We did that for the pilot episode, and we're gonna do that again tonight on episode number 3. But before we get started, we wanted to kind of stop and invite you, the viewer. If you're like us, maybe you're the same age as us, maybe you're a little older, a little younger. But if you have a tendency to think about the good old days of the 80s and 90s like us, we'd love to first hear from you over there in the comments or over on Instagram or our email. But we'd also love to chat, maybe have you on a future episode of Yesterday Reimagined. This is a venture that we would like to invite folks that are even people that haven't never done a podcast before or never been on a live stream before. It's something that once you do it, if I mean, it's not for everyone, but the topics and the things that we're talking about, man, I mean, everybody that is our age can relate, and we can always talk about the what ifs of pop culture. But we'd
Right.
love to have you on a show. So all you really need is just to, like us, have some creative thinking come your way, and with a little help from some AI tools, things like Chat GPT, Copilot, Google Gemini, these ideas in our head can come to life in picture form. And that's really the basis for the show Yesterday Reimagined. Ken and I aren't experts by any means in AI. I mean, it's a constantly changing and evolving thing. But with using free and then sometimes even some paid AI tools and giving those tools specific detailed prompts, these things can produce some very cool concepts and some cool images from the things that come from our brain. Ken and I are definitely not graphic artists. And
No.
if you follow us over on Instagram, you'll see a lot of really cool stuff that Ken does over there with his Fight Night series. And, of course, all that is done from the brain, but then it's produced with AI. And, if it was left up to Ken, these things would not be, would never see the light of day graphically. So thankfully we have AI and we're learning, we're getting better. Sometimes the graphics come out better than you anticipate. Other times it's you can't really get the AI just doesn't understand, or it just constantly fails or makes a mistake. But overall, it's a fun little exercise to where we get to sort of rethink our pop culture past.
Yeah.
And like I said in episode 1, Ken, we're not doing this to mislead anyone. we don't want anyone to think that these things actually do exist. But it's
No.
fun to sort of the fantasy book the past and think about those fictional what if scenarios, right?
Yeah, it's all basically under the entertainment concepts that we like to do. You know, what if this happened? What if this would have been this way back then? If something were just a little different and something could have turned out right in a movie or something, you can kind of go through that. And we've got a little teaser. We've got an audio podcast coming up in about a couple weeks where we're gonna rank the Rocky franchise, and I've been going through making some what if concepts from the Rocky franchise if this person had fought this person instead of that. So yeah, I've made a couple of those, and yeah, it's fun to do and see how it turns out. And some of the stuff I've been making has turned out pretty good so far, so I can't wait to put that out there as well.
Yeah, Ken, I tell you all the time, man. Your AI skills have from a year ago to now, man, they've like leaps and bounds better. And we
Yeah.
can only AI can only get improved, and our concepts and our prompts can get improved. So yeah, we're trying to live in this AI world. I mean, everybody has different reasons for using AI, but we're just sort of rethinking our past and that's really, like you said, Ken, it's entertainment and this and nostalgia sort of combined with
Yep.
AI, and that's really the basis for the show. So,
Yes.
so yes, if you're watching this, first off, go back to our back catalog. Ken's got a nice organized YouTube channel where you can find Yesterday Reimagined. You've got his Wide World of Toys. You've got all of our episodes of Retro Resurgence. And so you can go find that. And if this is your first time watching Yesterday Reimagined, watch this one and then go back and catch episode 1 and 2 to catch
Yeah.
those topics. So we're glad to have you, and please reach out if you're watching and let us know you're there. Um, Ken, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and tell the viewers. Of course, they can see the title of the show, but what are we going to talk about tonight in episode 3?
Yeah, Chad, tonight on episode 3, we're going to discuss fast food toys that should have existed. So, of course, McDonald's was probably the king of the Happy Meal toy, but other restaurants did have their toys like Burger King, Taco Bell. I even think probably Hardee's, I know, had some, and your restaurants like that. So we're gonna talk about what if some of these toys had been around back in the day that we came up with, and yeah, it should be fun to do.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna deep dive and talk about some of the marketing, the promotion. You're gonna, of course, see the actual toys, the actual, the good stuff. That's what us '80s and '90s kids wanted anyway.
Yeah.
Of course, then you get a little older and you're like, okay, now I want to eat first and then I'll get the toy. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, we're gonna dive right in. And if this is your first time, you're gonna see us here shortly go in a split screen view and our concepts as we discuss them and show them off. We're gonna kind of dissect them a little bit and react to them. And so, without further ado, let's get to the concepts.
Let's go.
All right, watchers. Well, we are back, and as you can see, Ken and I are in a split screen mode where we are on the left, and over on the right is our window where we're gonna present our concepts. And Ken, I think we told each other 3 concepts. We'll go back and forth, right?
Yeah, 3 each.
Okay. Well, I'll start things off tonight with my first concept. And Ken, one of the big movies of the '80s, I would think anybody would agree, would be The Goonies. What are your thoughts of The Goonies?
One of my all-time favorites of the 80s, man. I was kind of the same age as those kids were. I believe it came out in 1985, so around 11, 12 years old. So I could really identify with those kids. And yeah, man, it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, mine too, man. Of course, I'm a mainly, I'm a '90s kid, but you have to appreciate the Goonies and what it represented to the decade of kids and teenagers. But I was thinking, I don't recall, unless correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, I don't recall there ever being a fast food tie-in. Do you?
Not that I could ever remember. No,
Yeah.
there may have been, but as far as I can remember, I don't think there was.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was going. And so my first concept, I figured, let's go see what would happen if a company would have a Goonies promotion. And there you can see, folks, I chose McDonald's to be the one to
Nice.
represent this movie. I figured, a movie of this stature needed a restaurant that was, you know, pretty top notch. And so I made this concept a while back, and of course, I've just been kind of holding it until we had an opportunity to talk about it. So I now I'll tell you, if you're looking watchers there, you'll see that AI did get something wrong. I told it to do, I think I told it to do six figures, and it said something about collect all seven Goonies figures.
Yeah.
And I don't think I specified um which characters to do. I just said I wanted six, and of course AI thought it was seven. But you can see there, it got. Let's see, you got of course Mama Fratelli. You've got
Yep.
was it Mikey? Is that
Mikey. Yeah,
yeah?
Mikey.
Data or
Okay. Yeah,
Data?
Data.
You got Chunk.
Chunk looks great, man. Him and Sloth look awesome.
Yeah, and then what was the older brother's name? Brand,
Brand.
yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So it now of course you could have gotten a couple other characters, but I thought these little miniature figurines for what I gave AI, and I didn't give it much. I just kind of went with something generic, but I thought it did pretty good. Every character has almost like a little accessory, except of course Chunk, he doesn't need an accessory, just
No.
show his truffle shuffle there, and you've
Yeah.
got a good one there. But
Right.
I especially liked what it did with the Happy Meal box. I mean, boy, if
Yeah, it looks great.
yeah, I mean, you got the kind of the wood looking where it kind of resembles the ship.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought it did pretty good, but I said, it would definitely have been cool to have in real life to have to go back and collect Goonies figurines from some restaurant. So
Yeah.
Ken, what do you think about my first concept?
Yeah, I really like it. The Happy Meal box looks like something that could have been real back then. So, yeah, with the little arches for the handle. Yeah, and I think the figures turned out actually pretty good for, AI.
Yeah, when I went in to go and try to fix the error that says collect all seven Goonies, when I went and tried to do that, then it ended up taking one away, and,
Of
and it was
course.
just
Yeah.
AI just got confused there. But I just ignored that, and I
Yeah.
said the real focus is on the actual figurines. That's of course what we're talking about tonight. And like I said,
Right.
I thought it did a pretty good job of now I don't see of course, Corey Feldman's character, that would have been a cool one to throw up there. What was his name?
Yeah. Mouth.
Mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing I would probably, have added, because at the time, Corey Feldman was
Oh, yeah,
on the rise, and
for
so
sure.
I feel like any tie-in would have had to have him there. But
Yeah.
I love my favorite here is probably Sloth. Imagine
Yeah.
that just sitting there on your shelf there, just
Right.
chilling out. Man, I thought it did a pretty good job. So
Yeah, it did.
that's my concept.
Nice.
All right, Ken. Well, we're gonna go to your next concept. So why don't you introduce us to what you got?
All right. Well, Chad, you know how big of a Transformers fan I am, and back in the mid '80s, I would have loved to have seen a Transformer tie-in. So I made one, and I believe it's going through Pizza Hut.
Wow.
Yeah. So now this concept was kind of in my early AI, kind of getting started with AI. So I don't have the actual like what the figures would have looked like, but I have the concepts here. So this is from Pizza Hut, let's say 1985, at the height of the cartoon. It would have been in season two,
Yeah.
and the theme for this toy line is transform and deliver. The setup is Megatron is draining Earth's energy, including Pizza Hut ovens, to power Cybertron. The Autobots must disguise themselves as delivery vehicles to protect humanity's pizza supply. So these toys I thought would probably come in at about 3 inches, and they'd be the little chunky and durable toys. And so here we have Optimus Prime as a what else, a pizza delivery truck.
Absolutely.
So all right, next there we have Bumblebee as a pizza scooter, which I think that fits his character pretty well. He's one of the smaller robots, so a scooter would fit him pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, then yeah, then we have there's Jazz, the Turbo Pizza Racer, is one of the other Autobots. The spoiler flips up and becomes a shoulder cannon. Well,
Very
it didn't
cool.
make the shoulder cannon, but it kind of made there. He's got like a blaster. So
Yep.
all right, and then probably one of my favorites were the Dinobots. So then we have Grimlock as the Dino Delivery Defender. He's got like a little pizza carrying case on his back there.
Yeah.
All right. Now, for some reason, AI wanted to go away from the artwork that you had just seen, and it made this different background for Megatron.
Uh-huh.
But he's a um, an energy cannon oven. So, I uh, so in the regular G1 cartoon, he transformed into a gun. But then later on, they made him into a tank. So there, he's kind of like a pizza oven tank
Nice.
right there. Then, of course, there's Starscream, one of the seeker jets, and he can fire pizza-powered missiles.
I like that one. That's cool.
Yeah, that one turned out pretty good. And then there we have Soundwave. He turns into a pizza boombox. I don't know exactly. Uh, Maybe he can make pizzas inside there. I don't know, but that's
Yeah.
what they came up with.
Yeah. You knew it had to have something to do with music or
Yeah, of
radio
course.
or something.
And then there we have one of the original combiners from the Transformers, Devastator. He is the pizza hungry Decepticon, and it says exterminates hunger and Autobots.
That's got
And
some cool
then,
colors, green
yeah,
and
I
purple.
like, yeah, the green and purple. And then if we keep going, then there's what the outside of the box would look like. I thought that turned out pretty cool with the red roof of Pizza
Uh-huh.
Hut. Couple little games on the back.
Yep. And
And then
of course some typos in the spelling.
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. But like you
Yeah.
said, as it was early on, I mean,
Yeah,
as time goes on, a lot of these little nuances will probably just cease to exist. It'll get better.
right.
You got any more here?
Yep, there's a should be a few more. And then if you open up the box, it can turn into a little Cybertron command center there. So I thought that was pretty neat how they made it turn into that.
Yeah, that's really cool,
Like
man.
a little play set.
Yep.
And then I should have a few more. Then with each meal, you'll get a coin from a couple of the characters. So there's Megatron and there's a Pizza Hut on Cybertron.
Ken, man, going above and beyond the Call of Duty here.
Yeah. There's a Bumblebee coin, Optimus Prime.
Yep.
There should be, and then a Soundwave, and then the last one should be Grimlock. Yeah. So yeah, I thought a little collector coin with each meal would be a kind of a cool concept to go with it.
Yeah, and then Transformers, of course, was the inspiration for the McDonald's classic promotion of the changeables. But
Yeah, the changeables. Yeah.
yeah, but this and were there Transformers in real life from different promotions? Because this is different enough to where like say Burger King or McDonald's had actually done a Transformers. This is kind of this sets itself apart with the concept that you did about delivering the pizzas, and transforming into
Yeah,
the delivery trucks. I think that's enough of a difference to say this is completely separate from anything that might have existed.
right. Yeah, I don't think any restaurants had Transformers except like you said, McDonald's with the changeables that were loosely based on the Transformers, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they
yeah,
even advertised that it had any tie in there. It was just sort of breathe the inspiration of.
right.
But there was no mention of the Transformers license.
No.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And
Yeah,
yeah, Pizza Hut, man, thriving in the 80s and taking the opportunity to get on board with a successful franchise like Transformers. That would have been a
right.
hell of a concept, man. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thriving in the 80s and taking the opportunity to get on board with a successful franchise like Transformers. That would have been a
Right.
hell of a concept, man. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Two concepts down, four more to go. It's my turn. For my second concept, Ken, wasn't long ago when you and I and got on the horn with our buddy Space, and we started talking about board games. And this next concept takes a big board game maker, Milton Bradley, and kind of takes it to the restaurant level. Of course, you got to remember Happy Meal toys. You can't have you can't have a whole lot of expensive production in them. They have to be sort of simple and miniature. So, what I thought with my next concept would be from McDonald's, and we were only going to go with four this time, but they're basically miniature versions of board games from Milton Bradley.
Oh, wow.
And, these wouldn't necessarily be fun to play. I mean, it'd be too small, but it might give kids enough interest to tell their mom and dad, "Hey, I want to get that board game,
Yeah.
the full size one." So I figured, um, come down, miniaturize each game. And I didn't tell it which games to do, but I said, Milton Bradley, give me your most popular four games. And you can see there it chose Connect Four, Trouble, Battleship, and Guess Who.
Yeah. Four
Now,
classics.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers these growing up. Some of us may have played all four. But
Yeah.
Milton Bradley was such a big game maker. Parker Brothers was another one. But
Yeah.
I chose Milton Bradley just because I think more of us probably have played those games. But
Yeah.
now from a practical standpoint, I don't see this actually working because, like for instance, the Connect Four, yeah, you have to have a tiny game piece, but then you'd have to have all these little tiny checkers. And
Yeah.
are they really gonna mass produce these for a Happy Meal that cost a buck or two back in the 80s? So this is probably one that if it was on the cutting room floor, they'd probably say, "Nah, Chad, too involved."
Yeah.
And then especially when it comes to Battleship, you imagine having to keep up with those tiny little pegs.
Yeah. The little pegs, man.
Yeah. I do notice on Trouble instead of four pieces per team, you it miniaturized it and went down to three.
Yeah.
But
That's all right.
yeah, but so yeah, I don't think this would actually do well. I mean, it would just be kind of a logistic nightmare to bag these up in the box. But I love what it thought of, and I thought, it was a pretty
Yeah.
cool concept. I think I have another graphic. Yeah, okay. So I went a
Oh,
little
nice.
further. I went a little further, and of course, there's Ronald to promote the uh the toy line. And
Yeah.
I figured like they used to do back in the day, you'd have different weeks. So you can see there the graphic, the first week Connect Four,
Right.
next Trouble, next Battleship, next Guess Who. So and then of course I guess these are little fictitious coupons or something
Yeah.
you might see in an advertisement. So I thought I thought it made it definitely made it look retro in its artwork. And like I
Definitely
said,
does. Yeah.
yeah, I thought just kind of a cool concept, but in reality, probably wouldn't work just because even the game, even the full size game, those pieces were a lot to keep up with. So,
Right. Well,
but
Chad, you know what you could do, like too. You necessarily don't have to play the game, but they would be just cool, like little collectors pieces to have, like little miniaturized versions of the game.
so like actually like everything's glued and
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then of course yeah, then it just become more of like statues and figures that just are not posable or whatever. But
right.
yeah,
That's a
and
good idea, though. Yeah, I like it.
yeah, so that was my thought. And of course, like I said, the board game, I feel like its heyday was in the 80s, before video games came just kind of to the forefront. Because
Right,
I think the 90s owned, when it came to the 90s, that was the era of video games where you had so many systems and stuff. But in the 80s, man, it was sort of a simpler time where families would get together, pull these out, play them, you know, on vacation and
right.
weekends and trips over to your cousin's house and stuff. So I thought McDonald's would get on board with this one.
Oh yeah, I love it. Great concept, man. I like it.
Alrighty, well, Ken, let's go to your next concept. Your concept number two. What do you got?
All right, I believe this one is going to be from Denny's. Now, you really don't think of Denny's getting into the toy lines, but they do their fair share of things over the years. And so back in the 80s, what was better than sitting down, hooking up the Nintendo and getting a good game of Tecmo Bowl going? So
Oh, junk.
so now this is from going to be from 1989, and this is called Denny's Tecmo Bowl All Stars Kids Meal Toy Line.
Holy crap, dude. I want these right now.
So the promotional header for these toys is the biggest stars from the hottest football game on Nintendo are now at Denny's. So I came up with six figures, and of course, what bigger player character in Tecmo Bowl than Bo Jackson, and this is called Turbo Bo. So he's 3.5 inches. His gimmick is he's a pullback. He's on a pullback motorized base, and then he comes with a football, and then he's got a little stat card there down on the bottom of the card back. So yeah, man, the play pattern for him is pull Bo backward and release him. He rockets across the table just like he does in Tecmo Bowl. And the package slogan, nobody can catch Bo.
I was gonna say no different than in the video game when you gave him the ball, he was gone.
Oh yeah.
Took it to the house. I know, Ken, you love your stat cards too. When it
Yeah,
comes,
man, I like that. I like having little I didn't ask it to put it on there, but
it
yeah,
did it.
Chat GPT put those on there, so I thought that was a nice little touch.
Now, of course, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but these look like, they got little pegs. So these almost are like if they were to be found on store shelves.
Yeah.
Would you think Denny's would actually package them like that, or would they just come loose in a plastic
Yeah, they
baggie?
would probably just come loose, but I thought, putting them on a card back would kind of look neat with the little Denny's logo up there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I had it make it on like card backs, but yeah, realistically, they probably would have just come in like a little bag, plastic baggie.
Yeah. You could also they could still be on the peg, but you could actually have it to where like, because you got to think this would be kind of more for like an older person, maybe a teenager and
Oh
young
man, if
adult.
if these came out in '89, man, I was 15 years old. I still would have gotten these.
Yeah. But I was thinking though that they could probably market this just like you have it shown here, but it'd be um like it'd be like 5.99 with any purchase of a
Yeah,
Denny's All-Star breakfast, or you know what I
sure.
mean? And then
Right.
and then you'd have to whatever week they would have Bo and all, because man, the Bo would be the first ones people would sell out of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it would get sold out quick. probably would think.
Yeah. Who else you got here?
All right,
Oh,
we got LT, and this is the Lawrence Taylor quarterback crusher. His toy feature is he has a launching action. There you see he comes with a Dallas Cowboy to lay out there.
yeah.
Um, he includes the LT figure in the Giants uniform, spring-loaded tackling arm, and a foam mini quarterback dummy. And his play pattern is press LT's back and watch him launch forward to flatten the quarterback, the most feared defender in football.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, the next one here we have Joe Montana touchdown toss. Includes the Montana figure, the snap on football, and a folding goalpost target. Press Montana's arm to fire footballs through the goalposts.
Very cool, man. It's got
Yeah.
the little button that would, in theory,
Yeah.
release the arm, and
Yep.
yeah, it'd be a fun little thing to try to get it through the goalpost, like it
Yeah,
said.
that'd be yeah, nice little like, you know, back and forth game you could play with somebody.
Yeah, a little time waster.
Yep. All right, the next one of my favorite running backs of the day, the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye. Of course, he includes the figure, two defensive player obstacles, and a rolling tackle base. Push Okoye forward and watch him knock over defenders. So, yeah, man, you know him back in the day. He was one of those really huge running backs, and he would just run over people. So I thought that he would make a good figure.
I don't know what he did to number 43, but number 43
Yeah,
lost his bottom half of his
he lost
legs.
the bottom half. Yeah.
I'm sure that was AI omission.
Oh yeah.
He's still funny though.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Here we got another defensive player, Ronnie Lott from the 49ers. So now this, you got the figure, and then you have a magnetic football and a passing target stand. So now it doesn't come with it says it's launch the football, but there's nothing there to really launch it with. But
Yeah.
it goes launch the football and swing Lott's arm to make a game-saving interception. So he's supposed to have a little magnet in his hand there to catch the football. So I suppose you could just like toss it and
Yeah.
see if they would actually stick.
Yeah. These I mean, the what you it kind of sounds like mine. Practicality, these would be pretty intense to develop for just a cheap little toy, but dude, the way they did the jerseys and the likenesses, man, it did a good
They
job.
did, yeah. They look really good.
Yeah. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief, like were they going to spend this much time on a toy that would only cost a few bucks? But
Yeah,
now if they wanted to market these as like, with all the articulation and the, the action, man, you'd probably pay a hefty penny for these because these
right.
would definitely be very, very intricate.
Yeah. And then I
I
think
love that one.
I have one more. Okay, okay. There's what the meal box would look like with
Love
the
that.
player. So I thought that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and then the bonus, if you want to go to the next.
Oh,
So now here is the Tecmo Bowl Stadium playset. Kids who collect proofs of purchase from all five toys can mail away for a cardboard tabletop football stadium featuring end zone styled after the NES game, a pop-up scoreboard, Denny's sponsorship signs, folding goalposts, and a collector display slots for all five figures.
man. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, man, you got to get all the figures if you want the play set. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't really typically you wouldn't have heard mailaways with fast food. I mean, that would be more
no,
you'd
that
be
was
that would
more.
be more like cereal, right?
Yeah, that was more serial stuff.
But
But
again, we're fantasy booking, man. We've
that's
got to
right.
do what we want here. But that's awesome, man. Like I said, for I don't know how much you'd have to eat at Denny's to to
Yeah,
to to get for them to make a profit on this. But dude, just did you now? I got a question. Did you pick the players or did AI?
I picked the players.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I was going to give props to AI, but no, you told it what to do on that. So that's good.
right.
That's awesome, man. And Yeah,
Yeah.
Tecmo Bowl, what an iconic, we're both sports fans and
I
it's
mean,
one of the
yeah.
best sports games ever.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
that
So
all you
there's my
got?
second one, man.
Yeah, you did great, man. And I love on that last one there. You even had to include the instructions because it looked that involved.
Yeah.
So,
So you got instructions, and then you got a little decal stickers of some of the logos or helmets.
uh-huh. Very cool, man.
All right.
All right, well that one, man. I wish that one existed. That gets me jacked up.
Yeah, that one would have been pretty sweet to have.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got our last concepts coming up, and for my last concept, we're gonna go. You just went to Denny's. I'm gonna take us over to Wendy's.
All right.
Wendy's. I wouldn't say Wendy's had the best toys in the past. I mean, I think that
Right.
honor belongs to McDonald's and probably Burger King, and maybe Wendy's was a third or
Yeah.
fourth. But but I said, you know what? Not only are our kids our Happy Meals supposed to entertain us, but maybe there's a promotion where our Happy Meal toys would educate us. So I decided that Wendy's would have the Presidents of America Happy Meal.
Nice.
Now,
Hey.
we all were in grade school and remember history and learning about the presidents and stuff like that. And I said, you
Right.
know what? I told AI to make it look like the 80s, and I think it definitely did with
It
some of
did.
the logo, and
Oh yeah.
you got the classic logo back in the 80s. The only
Hey,
thing missing, I think it should have had a picture of Dave Thomas somewhere.
hey, Chad.
What?
And also they put the McDonald's arches on top of the box for the
Oh, they
carry
sure did.
for the handle.
I guess McDonald's is gonna sue them for infringement.
No, but yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, and I did not pick. I don't think I made this concept a while back, but I said, you know what? What better way to learn than scarfing down a burger and some fries and a Coke, and then collecting, in this case, six figures along with trading cards. And of
Nice. Yeah.
course, the trading cards would have stats on the back, maybe when they
Of course.
served, what they did during their time as president.
Yeah.
So as you can see there, you got JFK, George Washington, Abe Lincoln. I figured you got to have the current president.
Yeah,
What
you got to
what
have
good?
Ronald in there.
Yeah, so that would have been the early '80s. Actually, most of the decade, to be honest. And
Yeah.
then you had Thomas Jefferson, and then I was kind of thinking, oh no, I think I actually no, no, I take that back. I gave them the presidents, but then I said, who is going to be that sixth president? Because I wanted these to be easily identifiable. And I said, Roosevelt. When you see Roosevelt, he's pretty recognizable with his mustache and his glasses and stuff. So
Yeah.
I chose the Presidents of America Happy Meal. See it says a fun way to learn, a great way to grow. So
Nice.
may not have been the funnest of promotions, but I could see teachers in grade school trying to get kids to go to Wendy's to learn
Sure.
about their presidents.
Yeah. I would have been all over this back in the day, man, because I loved like history when I was younger and did the
Yeah.
different presidents and stuff. Yeah, man, I would have loved this.
Yeah, who knows? It could have, maybe gotten a kid who was not quite interested. Maybe this promotion would have gotten him interested in politics or history or whatnot. So
Right.
I figured, not an action figure, not a cartoon, let's just take a time to actually get something educational. And the 80s, they were definitely trying to, with PSAs and stuff, they were
Oh yeah.
really trying to get kids not only to be entertained but also to educate them. So
Yeah.
I don't think I went any deeper, so that's my only graphic, but
Okay.
that's what
Yeah, I
I got
like it.
there.
I like it.
All right, Ken. Well, let's get to your last concept. You want to introduce us and tell us what
Yeah.
you got?
All right, Chad. Well, here Yesterday Reimagined, and if you're a regular listener to the Retro Resurgence podcast, you know that we like ourselves some wrestling. So we're gonna go to Hardy's, and they are gonna team up with WWF, and this is gonna be around mid '80s, 1985, '86, and this is gonna be a set of six Hot Wheels. So they're going to team up with Hot Wheels and WWF and do a set of six Saturday night's main event Hot Wheels vehicles.
Got a little crossover, huh?
Yeah. All right. So here we have our first one, of course, Hulk Hogan, and this is called the Hulkster Hauler, which it looks like a kind of a sort of like a monster truck, and you can now, Hot Wheels, they did have some gimmicks, so this one you can just pull it back and it'll take off. So
Yep.
I like this one. The artwork turned out pretty cool, and the vehicle turned out cool.
And in all the marketing material, the Hulkamania one would be in the front, you know.
Oh yeah,
Vince McMahon would have not had it any other way. Hulk Hogan's got to be front and center, man.
yeah, for sure.
Who else you got? Oh, that's
All
cool.
right, we got the Macho Man, Randy Savage, the Madness Machine. In this one, Hot Wheels was famous for their color changing bodies. So
Yeah,
if you got this wet or put it in sunlight, it'll change colors. And there you have his glasses on the back there for the spoiler.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one turned out good.
Another
All right.
monster truck.
Next, we have another monster truck, Andre the Giant Crusher. He's got the big fist on the grill there. So yeah, I thought that one turned out cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next, now we got Jake the Snake Racer. So the Venom on wheels. Now this one looks pretty good, but there was another concept that it made two. It made a second one.
There it is.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more of a colorful card back, and I kind of like this one better than the first one.
You never know. Maybe if they had the right amount of money, they'd have like a variant, like
Yeah,
you'd have two different, they did that
right.
in action figures all the time.
Oh yeah, you had like a chase or yeah, a little
Yeah.
different a variant. So
Or
yeah, I
maybe
like
or
I
maybe in a certain region of the country, these would have
yeah,
been given out. Yeah.
yeah, but I
Uh,
like this one better than that first one. It's more
yeah.
colorful. All
And
right.
oh yeah.
All right, now we have the Ultimate Warrior Power Sprint. This one's pretty cool. You can see it's got the little tassels on the side like he wore on his arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was
Another one,
another
right?
one. Yeah, they made another variant for
Nice.
yeah, so this one I think they both look pretty cool. They capture his colors that he wore back then.
Yeah. I
The
if
yeah,
you're asking me, I'd go with that first one. It looks just something about it looks but
yeah.
they're both great, man. They both you gotta have the pink and the orange and the
Oh
green of the
yeah.
warrior.
Yeah. And then the last one, the last vehicle,
Haha.
the $1 million machine. I
Yeah.
thought this one turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
The trunk opens to reveal money and money bags in the back there.
That's cool, man. These would be good even on the pegs at the toy store, you know.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, I got Hardee's, WWF, and Hot Wheels all collabing, man, into
Yeah.
one great promotion.
All right, then the next one is just going to be the
The box.
box. Pretty cool.
Yep.
And then if you want to go, I believe I have one more. Now we have another we have another mail away. So
You
this
love your
is
mailaways.
yeah, this is the Saturday night's main event championship transporter. So not only do you get a big cool semi truck, but the sides will open up and it will kind of look like a wrestling arena, and then you can place all of your cars around the ring there. So yeah, man.
Yeah. And maybe, that would first off, the WWF was making everything in the mid 80s, So
Oh
this
yeah,
this this is right up their alley. But
yeah.
I could see that maybe the restaurant would sell the cars, and then if you saw a promotion for the big instead of a mail away, you just kind of put ads in the Happy Meal box and say you'll find these at participating stores like Toys R Us and KB Toys, and then you'd have parents, kids trying to get their parents, oh, I got to get the truck to
Yeah.
hold the car. So, I
Right.
mean, all in all, man, just another reason for us to spend our money, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I love it, man. Did great
Yeah,
on that one.
I thought it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, we are back, and there you had six retro, fun, nostalgic concepts of Happy Meal toys from back in the day, man. Ken, job well done.
Yeah, you
I
too.
think I think we nailed it and hit it out the park, man.
We did.
Again, these ideas sit in our head and we think about them, and then AI comes up with stuff, and yeah, we got some grammatical errors and some mistakes, but
Yeah.
overall, man, it helps us get these ideas out into a world where you can see this actually happening in real life. So I thought, man, you had some fun ones.
Yeah, I think we came up with great concepts, Chad, and they would have been of the time, with the Transformers, wrestling, and your the Goonies and the board games. Yeah, they all would have hit that button for the time, and I would have probably wanted all of them.
Me as well. And we didn't intentionally set a decade on this topic, but
No.
it looks like we stuck in the 80s. So, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe we can do a future episode and kind of go a little newer into the 90s
Yeah.
and maybe come up with some more 90s concepts because, the two decades, while we're nostalgic about both, they definitely there's distinctions between the decades. So, you know,
There are.
so we could definitely come up with some 90s concepts and like you said, some things that were timely and that may have not even existed in the 80s and not until the 90s. So who knows, maybe we'll revisit this topic again, but yeah,
Yeah.
man, I thought this was a fun episode, and I loved what you did, and I loved showing you my concepts, and that's
Right.
what we're all about here on Yesterday Reimagined.
That's right, man. We love bringing our ideas to life, and we got so many ideas. I think just waiting to come out, and yeah, this is a good outlet to do it, and I enjoy doing this. Yeah,
Yeah, so some of these cons, like the couple of the ones I had to, it's been months since I made them, so I'm sitting here kind
yeah,
of having to look at them again for the first time in months. But
right.
yeah, if I went today and did the concept, it might come up with a completely different vibe. I mean, that's
Completely
just how
different.
AI is, right?
Yeah, yeah, like that Transformers one, man. I made that like months ago, and yeah, it didn't compared to some of the stuff I've been making now. It's that one looked a little bit primitive, but yeah, it was still fun to do and fun to look at.
Yeah. Well, watchers, what did you think? We're going to ask you uh, a favor or two. First off, maybe in the comments over on YouTube, let us know which one of the six that you would declare the winner. Not that we're necessarily competing with each other, but
No.
it is a fun little thing to see who won the topic for the night. So you had six of them to choose from. Let us know over the comments. And of course, if you do that, then that lets us know who you are and reach out to us. Let us know what you're thinking of the show. Let us know if you have any ideas of your own. And like we said in the beginning of the show, if you're interested, if you're an avid retro person like us and love thinking about the what ifs of toys and movies and music, pop culture and television, just hit us up, man. We don't want to just keep this to ourselves. We'd love to spread it out and get others involved. I think that's what makes this stuff fun is to get other ideas and
Yeah.
see how other people think. So please let us know if you watch this. Give us a like, give us a comment, and it just goes a long way to help the show grow and to find other audiences, which is what we're ultimately hoping to do is to spread us out to others who may have never listened to our podcast and listen to this. So
Yeah, reach out to us. We're nice guys. We're easy to get along with, and yeah, reach out to us, and yeah, we can't wait to hear from everybody.
Alrighty, well, Ken, I think that'll just about wrap it up for
All
episode
right.
number 3. And who knows, episode 4, we'll probably do that sometime in the fall. We
Sure.
do have a sort of a spreadsheet going for this show. So who knows, when the fall comes around, Ken or I will get the itch to want to jump on the video camera here and do some concepts. And but until then, I'm Chad, and that's Ken, and we will see you next time.
See you later, everybody.